What's up, Columbus, and welcome to another episode of Celebrate Columbus, powered by Johnson Wick Kemper Insurance Services. My name is Josh Burnett, and as you can see, we've got a great guest with us today. I'm super excited. I've known her for a long time, and whenever I was asking you all who would be a great guest for 2026, she was someone that came up, and immediately I looked up her website, and I'd already known some of the things she was doing, but I was so excited to share her story a little bit with you all and how you can support it. She's doing some amazing things in the community. I'm going to stop talking now, but for those who might not know you, Sydney, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what we're going to talk about today?
Absolutely. My name is Sydney Wells. My author name is Sydney Simone. Simone's my middle name. I think that people in Columbus probably know me more for coaching than anything, than my job or anything else really. I coach the girls Southside basketball team. I coach FFY. I coach Parks and Rec soccer. So I've met a lot of kids and parents through that because I've been doing that since, I don't even know, like for at least 10 years or maybe 8 to 10 years. But that's probably where I've met most people. But then, yeah, we went to East High School and Central, and so I've definitely been in the community for a very long time.
Yeah, and so what are we going to be talking about today?
So I wanted to talk to everybody about my journal that I have. It's a good days, bad days journal for kids, but I kind of wanted to just kind of explain how it kind of came about.
Yeah, because as I was looking at it, immediately I was drawn to the good days, bad days. We all have those, and something that I've gotten to dive more deeply into is processing, the things that we go through on a daily basis. And some of those days are good, some of those days are bad. But tell us a little bit about, before we get into good days, bad days, how did you become an author? And, how do we get to where we are?
Well, so I call myself a writer, and whenever I do workshops at schools and stuff like that, I always tell the kids, if you write, you're a writer, because that's 100% true. And I actually wrote this book, it's called So You Say You Can't Sleep, and I wrote it when I was pregnant with my first child, and she is 12. So this was back in 2013, back when I had lots of poems and books and things, kind of circling, and I just thought it was such a great concept for a book. But then life happened. I had 4 kids and lots of other things happened, so it just kind of got put on hold, and a few years ago I finally decided to put it in a book form and self-publish it. So I do have this one, and then I realized 2 of my 4 kids are already too old for it by the time I finally published it. So that's when I was like, I'm just going to throw together this journal. So I came up with this dream journal for kids, and it's a very simple entry, what was your dream like last night type thing, and you can kind of rate your dream. And I actually got in contact with Amy over at Beloved. And we were talking about the Dream Journal as an option to put in their go bags. And I don't know if everybody's familiar with what Beloved is.
Yeah, go ahead and give us a little bit of information about Beloved. It's a great organization.
In a very, very short nutshell, they provide go bags for kids that are being removed from their homes through CPS and various situations. And those go bags contain things that they may need depending on the age. So it can be clothes, it can be toiletries. But they also try to provide things that might be comforting, like, stuffies, or maybe for older kids, they do journals, or younger kids coloring books and that kind of thing. So that's why we were talking about the Dream Journal. And she was talking about this page specifically. It says positive vibes on it. It was talking about what affirmations are and how to use them. And she said, I really like this, but I just wish I had more of this kind of thing. And she was telling me about some of these kids. Some of the stories. I can't even get into it because I will cry. But, they will sit sometimes in the office for hours and hours waiting for placement, right? And so they try to provide them with things that they can do during that wait, and then also just wherever their new environment is, things that they can do. And so she was saying, I just kind of wish I had more of this kind of thing. And I was like, I just think you need a totally different journal. Like, this is just a dream journal. This is just, hey, do you remember your dream last night? What was it about? So I was just like, I'm just gonna make one. And at the time, she's like, I might need maybe 300 or 400 throughout the course of an entire year. And I said, I can totally do that. I'm just gonna order them. You order them as you need them, and we'll just get them, filled. So that's when I came out with the Good Days, Bad Days journal, and that's what this one is. It's much thicker. It's way more intentional. This one has a lot of repeat pages, whereas this one has a lot of pages that aren't repeated. It has an entry page and an activity page every 2-page spread. And the activities range from coloring to drawing to word search to a little bit deeper topics like how to deal with grief or how to be a good friend. Or, one of my favorite prompts whenever we're doing workshops is, what is something that you wish adults understood about kids?
That's good.
It's one of my favorite questions.
Yeah.
You get some of the best answers. You get heartbreaking answers. You get hilarious answers. It's one of my favorite questions. But so it ranges from all these things, right? So there's pages in there for them to be able to process, but also pages where they don't have to process because they're just not ready to. They can just color and, whatever. Additionally, every 7 pages, there's something called a pitch page. So it's basically just a page that you turn to and you can write about whatever's bothering you. You can draw about it on the back and it gives you those instructions. And then when you're done, you literally rip the page out, you throw it away, you let it go. It's just a way to be able to let go of things that are just heavy right then, right? And once you rip it out, it still stays with the same 2-page spread and it kind of doesn't, alter the flow. And then at the very back of the book, there are some additional tools that you can use at any time. And there's breathing tools in here and things that you can do to calm down, mindful breathing. There's the calming cat, I think, in here. Have you done that one where you trace the cat?
Nice.
Breathing techniques, how to identify your anger and your triggers, things that, might bother you more than others. So these are just some things that you can do at any time. And then, of course, you have an autographs page because who doesn't want one of those?
Yes.
So this was the journal, and it was well received, but I actually heard from another nonprofit that was these are actually really great for the 4th, 5th, 6th grader, but they're also really great for the 7th, 8th, and maybe even older.
Yeah. And
a lot of that is because it's such a simple entry, and depending on where that student is mentally, emotionally, or just what they want to do, effort-wise or whatever. So they're they love it, but they don't want to carry around this kind of cover. Yeah. Because it's kind of...
They're amazing illustrations,
They're so good. But that's why I just
Yep.
provided this one. It's the same exact pages. It just has a very generic, inconspicuous cover so that anybody can carry it. But yes, the illustrations are incredible. And actually, my illustrator is from Poland. We connected on Facebook, and I don't know if you guys can see all these, but they're just gorgeous.
Yeah.
But she is a teacher, mom, does this part-time just like I do, and we just really connected, and I liked her style, and so I just kind of keep using her for all the projects. But
that's awesome.
yeah.
Well, I thought that this would be really relevant for us, Columbus, to talk about, not just because it's the New Year's, but it is the New Year's, and sometimes, that calendar reset really makes us self-reflect, on life, our direction. But we don't always have the tools with how to process that, maybe envision where we're going, where we've been. And so I thought this would be a really helpful tool specifically for our children. I'm a dad of 3 kids. My wife and I have 3 kids that, are middle school down to elementary school. And we've seen the power of being able to process your feelings, your emotions. It's not always easy. Not all of us were taught how to do that. And so to be able to do that from a very young age, I think will help, as they grow up to be our age and to be, great moms, dads, husbands, wives, healthy individuals.
Yeah.
And so, why do you think that this would be a good thing for people to consider? You've talked about the nonprofit background with helping, kids who are really going through things, but we're all going through things.
Yes. So the thing is again, she was like, I might need 300 or 400 over the course of this time. Great. I'm going to order 500. I'll sell the extra 100 to family and friends or give them away as presents or whatever. Right. But then something really amazing happened. And because to be honest with you, my kids are in the same boat. They have some things they need to process. Yep. They need some tools like that too. Right. And they're not in the system like some of these other kids are, but I think every child can really benefit from this. And what happened was I was actually starting to get some more feedback and reviews. My husband was on shift, and I got this email from a friend or brother of a friend or something, and basically just saying like, this was such an amazing journal. They got it as a Christmas gift. I just wanted to say thank you. I'd like to order 8 more of them. My son's on the spectrum and it's been helping us communicate, and I want to give some to his therapist to give out to other kids, like just like paying it forward, you know? So I'm crying as I'm like reading this review to my husband on the phone, and I'm like, this is so cool, because, you know, again, people are paying it forward. These kids are it's helping kids. And I'm like, this is way more than I ever anticipated to be able to do with this project, to be honest with you. Like, I was just trying to like fill a need and like, hey, yeah, this is kind of a fun project, but it's just so much more impactful than I realized. And it just, I was really taken aback. So I started getting in contact with some other nonprofits and just kind of trying to put the word out there like, hey, can anybody else use this? And I ended up ordering another 1,000 because I had almost worked through that first 500 and I hadn't even gotten through that year with Amy. So I was like, I got to get some more product in here. And then again, you know, when I went and got this one, I went ahead and did 500 of these, 500 of the original one. And I actually just got my second order of 1,000. So I think we've sold like 1,200 or something like that, through just individual sales, nonprofit, stuff like that. But I even got to do some workshops. So Parks and Rec jumped in on some of this. And some of the schools, a couple of the schools have let me do some workshops, which have been really fun. Like I said, some of the prompts have been really eye-opening and heartbreaking and all of the things, and it kind of combines my love of coaching and connecting with kids with my love of writing, with just being a parent and being and wanting to connect with kids and giving kids a feeling of, you know, a safe adult or, you know, safe place for that written expression. And I don't know, just kind of combined all of these things into one, and it just turned into this whole other thing that's just been really fun. So whenever you were, you know, looking for things to talk about, I mean, I definitely want more people to know about it, and I would love to connect with more nonprofits. I've talked to BCSC. We might be able to work together to, you know, get some in there. I don't know, I want to kind of get more out there and try to help more kids and offer it up as a tool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, for those who are watching this and are like, man, I definitely want to get those for my kid, or I know someone who could benefit, what's the best way to get your hands on one of these?
Well, I love supporting local businesses first. So Viewpoint Books does have all of my publications in their store. And I think I'm in a couple of Nashville stores too. Sweet Teas, I don't know if you've been in there, but it's like my favorite place for lattes, and Falling Leaf Bookstore. But then you can also contact me directly, especially if you're looking for bulk orders, or if you're looking to connect through organizations, or just, you know, whatever the case is. You can also order from me.
You have a website, right?
Yes, so sydneysimone.org is the website, and you can see the listings on there, and you can contact me through the website if you want, or at longandwinded@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure to put that on the video as well as in the description. And thank you so much for coming by.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Really appreciate, you know, all the time and energy, effort, really your whole family gives to children. So
Thank you.
I know your sister's watching this, so shout out to Jackie.
Yeah.
I love Jackie. And, you know, your mom, your dad, your husband.
Yeah.
I know man, I'm going to cry when I say this. Your oldest was so amazing with our daughter Scarlett at basketball camp.
Oh, awesome.
And so your whole family is making a difference, and so I really
you.
appreciate it. And Columbus, I hope that you have enjoyed, you know, getting to know a local author, someone who's, you know, making a difference in children's lives. I hope that you'll support her and make sure to reach out to her, because I know that there's some great things that you guys could do together. We'll see you next time, and thank you for joining this episode of Celebrate Columbus. We'll see you later.
Thank you.